Okay, who all remembers Download Scotland in 2004, which took place at Glasgow Green? Were you lucky enough to be there, or have you only heard about the legend since? So grab a cup of tea or coffee, or crack open a cold beer, as in this video I'm going to take you back to the unforgettable weekend that was Download Scotland 2004. So this was a real golden period for music in Glasgow, starting since the year 2000, when we had bands such as Travis, Green Day, Eminem, Marilyn Manson, The Prodigy, The Offspring, Foo Fighters and the Red Hot Chili Peppers had all played previously. So Download Scotland was basically a warm-up for some of the bands that were going to be playing the Download Festival later on that weekend. Download being the new name for what was the Monsters of Rock Festival. In this video I'll be diving into the bands who rocked the stage over these magical 2 days. I'll also be going over the set list that they played, and I've managed to find for you some rare photos. There's not a lot of footage that I could find from this event. There's hardly any video, and it was really difficult to try and find some photos, but I've put them in the video. So if you're new to the channel, then, well, firstly, where have you been? Please think about subscribing to my channel, because I do a Relive the Music year by year, all the way back to 1993, and I go through the albums that were out from that year and the sort of news events and also the gigs that I went to. So if you are from Scotland, and particularly maybe from the Glasgow region, you might find this of interest. And for those of you who are regular subscribers to my channel, I do thank you for watching the videos. It does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate all the comments, and I do try and respond to everybody who leaves a comment. And if you want a mention in any of my future videos, then just leave a comment and watch for me mentioning your name on the next video. This video includes audio recorded by me a few weeks ago as part of my Relive the Music of 2004 episode, but for anyone who missed it, then this one is just for you. So let's relive the music of Download Scotland 2004 together. My name is Ricky, and welcome to my channel, Relive the Music. Okay, so next up is quite a special event, and this is called Download Scotland, and this was a watered down version of the Download Festival. So you had these bands that were going to be playing in a couple of days' time. So this was actually held on a Wednesday and on a Thursday. So you get a ticket there. It was £39.50, so £79 for the 2 days. And it still featured some really good bands playing here. So on the Wednesday, first up we had Him. And this is the one and only time that I'd seen them. So I remember they played Buried Alive by Love, and they played a cover of the Chris Isaak 1980s song Wicked Game. So that was pretty good. I mean, it started later in the afternoon. I think it was like a 3 PM start when the gates opened, and we were lucky again. I'm pretty sure the weather was decent. It wasn't raining anyway. Next up we had Korn, and I think this might have been the first time that I've seen Korn. I've never actually seen Korn playing on their own. I've only ever seen them as part of festivals or on a bill with other bands. But anyway, they played about 14 songs, including Got the Life, Here to Stay, Falling Away From Me and Chutes and Ladders. And I'm trying to remember if he came out wearing a kilt and playing the bagpipe. I know he's done that a few times before. I couldn't actually find any footage or any news on this, so if anybody was there, if they can remember, then please help me out with that one. So it was a really strong set list throughout on their show, and it was good to see them, and they finished on the song You'll Want a Single. Okay, so next up in the bill, or second last on, was Slipknot, and they played 12 songs, and this was spread across 5 from their debut album, 4 from Iowa and 3 from their most recent offering at the time. So they closed with Surfacing, but they also played hits such as the Heretic Anthem, Spit It Out, People Equal Shit, Wait and Bleed, and the favourite for me for the day was duality. Okay, so last up in the bill was Metallica, and this was great to see Metallica again, having saw them 8 years prior in their last time in Scotland at the Barrowlands. And they played a really strong set. There was 18 tracks in total that they played. So they opened with Blackened, which I was pleased about, and they also played stuff like Ride the Lightning, Fade to Black, St Anger, Sad But True, Creeping Death, Wherever I May Roam, One, Sandman, and they ended with Seek and Destroy. So I actually did find some footage of this, but I can't play it for copyright reasons, so I'm just showing you some of the still images from that footage. Now, there is a video, like I say, but it's only about 5 minutes long, but you can actually see it if you visit Metallica's website. I screen recorded it onto my channel so that I had a copy of it, but it's a bit blurrier, so I'll put the link in the comments, or rather in the description below, so you can go and check it out, because it's a kind of wee medley. You see snippets of Ride the Lightning and Blackened and a couple other songs, and it's quite funny just when you look back and you see the footage of Glasgow Green and you see the statue thing in the background and everybody there. Also managed to find a fan snippet of sound, filmed as if you're in the crowd, so I'll play this for you now and you can hear it. Okay, so if you're watching this video, then I'm going to assume that you go to a lot of concerts, in which case you probably already have earplugs to protect your ears, but if you don't, might I suggest this wee set, which costs about the same price as a couple of beers, and you couldn't even know that I had them in my ear there because you don't see them. They're excellent. I'll leave a link in the description below. I highly recommend them, and I've been using them for over 2 years now. Okay, I've also managed to find some more footage, or I've stole it from somebody whose account looks dormant, of fireworks which went off just before One came on, so hopefully that will give you another wee taste of what the atmosphere was like. Okay, so if you were at this gig or you're a Metallica fan, then you might be interested to know that you can actually hear every song on Metallica's website, which is metallica.com. Just go into either the media section or hit the search tool and type in Glasgow Green. So every song is there and the quality is really, really good on it. Now, normally for a lot of their shows, all the songs are recorded and you can opt to sort of buy them and download them digitally, or you can buy a CD, but there isn't actually the option for this one. I don't know if it's because it's so old, but you can still play every song and hear it. So it's a couple of guys at Napster had said to me that you could play it and maybe screen record it and then you would have a copy of it. I don't know whether that's true or not, but a pretty good idea maybe. Okay, so now on to Download Scotland Day 2, and it's still £39.50 to get in. And this was a really sunny day, so we're really lucky. Like the last few years at these events, we managed to have good weather, so Yeah, who'd have thought it, eh? So I can't remember who was first up on the bill. It might have been Lost Prophets, and this would have been the first time that I would have saw them. So they did like 7 or 8 songs. The actual set list is quite unclear. I couldn't actually source it, but it's believed to be that they played songs like Burn Burn, Last Train Home and Last Summer. So that was enjoyable seeing them for the first time. Okay, next up in the bill was Machine Head, and they actually played a lot of songs. They played 16 songs in total, including opener Imperium, which was my favourite off of the Through the Ashes of Empires album. And they also did songs such as 10 Ton Hammer, The Blood, The Sweat, The Tears and Davidian. Okay, second last on the bill was Iggy Pop and the Stooges, and to be honest, I'm not really a fan of Iggy Pop, but I know the song The Passenger and that's about it. So I remember watching him on stage. I think usually normally prances about with his top off, but I'm not really a fan. Like, I took it in, but I don't really have anything much to say about it. Okay, last up in the bill and closing this day and closing the 2-day festival was Linkin Park. And this was great. This was an honour to see them the first time seeing them, hot off the heels of the success of Hybrid Theory and Meteora. So they played 17 songs in total. It featured 8 songs from Hybrid Theory and 7 off of the Meteora album and a couple of covers. I think there was a 9 Inch Nails cover in there. So yeah, it was strong. You know, it had some sort of remix versions in there as well. You know how they had that sort of album where they had various sort of rappers and they played about with some of the tracks. So there was a few sort of reanimated like openers during some of the songs. But that aside, you had songs like Paper Cut, Points of Authority, With You, Runaway, Numb, Faint, In the End, and A Place for My Head. And yeah, it was great to see them. Chester's haircut was a bit dubious, like you'll see that from the pictures. I don't know what was going on with that, but it was great to see these guys and a good way to end the 2-day festival. Okay folks, so that just about wraps it up for this video. So thank you for reliving the music of what was Download Scotland 2004 with myself and listening to me rabble on about my first-hand experiences. So if you enjoyed this content, then please think about giving the video a wee like and maybe sharing it and even subscribing to my channel for more music related content, including gig highlights, reviews and the year-by-year series. So if you're lucky enough to be at this concert, then let me know in the comments below what your memories of it were. What were the highlights for you? Was it a particular band or song? So just remember folks, it's never goodbye, it's just until next time.